Okay. We are 10-8. The number is 180. The letter is G. My name is Mig. We are still playing Factorio. Nauvis Post Collapse. I've been playing this for a long time. By my reckoning, this is episode 155, which at one episode per day, 7 days a week, is 22 weeks? Excuse me, 22 weeks of content. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, right? Like, almost 6 months. Almost 6 months of content. Like a daily TV series. This is, I don't know, is what it is. I don't know how to end it. Like, I set I set a goal for myself, which we would probably not be able to do in like 450 episodes, so that was a mistake. But oh yeah, and I did go and check out what the problem was before. Well, the problem was we got into a recharge loop, right? Had no logistic bots left. So what I did is I ran very quickly over to my bot production area, way over here. And I turned on bot production, right? I just added, or I twisted, I added, right? Started to toss a bunch of bots into the bot space, which would be all in good, except they use up these lovely bot casings, and the bot casings use up these batteries. And so what happened was all of the batteries were going into bot casings, and we're still filling up on freaking bot casings. We're still wasting all of our batteries here, such that our batteries were not going into... Woo, where's my mouse? God damn, there's so much stuff on the screen, your mouse goes away, right? But now we do have enough batteries. Not a ton of batteries, mind you, but enough. Right? We're requesting 180. There's some on the way. It's not bad. It's not bad. Right? And this guy is just... Now he's more waiting for the blue circuits. So that's fine. We did manage to launch 301 satellites. It's not like we're doing nothing around here, yo. We finally dealt with all of our production, right? You can watch our green circuits bounce around in here. They'll just barely tap 100, or excuse me, 1000. And then all of these arms will twist, and they will all fill a whole bunch of green circuits and allow the red guys to go. Right? And then the green circuits will very slowly have to build their way back up again. He said, as they disappear completely, and now he has no idea where they went. But, you know, whatever. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to change anything in this episode. I'm going to wander around and talk about stuff, because that's what you do, right? You go into your Minecraft world, and you have a little world tour, and you say, I did this, and I did that, and things and stuff, and nonsense. There's an etiquette to this, right? Like, I think this is my longest series. It's certainly the series that I've been the saddest to quit, but I don't know. I get bored easy, I suppose. Like, normally I play through to the end, but there's really no end. Like, after you launch your first satellite, what is the end? What does end even mean? Does anybody really know what time it is? Like, these are the questions that we don't really have good answers to. That being said, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. That being said, we do have 11,000 uraniums, so that's pretty awesome. Beacon Coverax actually works pretty well. I'm sure you already knew that. And how many 238s? 100,000 238s. Like, I think one of the big mistakes that I made playing this was that I didn't pay attention to the drill bits down here, right? I was not paying good enough attention to how much uranium I had, and I wound up dumping a whole bunch of it into uranium bullets, right? And like, given the difference between having trains bring me the supplies that I need, right? as we trickle coal over to whoever needs it. You know, that was important stuff. I needed the trains to bring me the supplies I need. That was important. So allowing the nuke fuel to run out was a very, very bad idea. In fact, I'm going to go over here and check it just because. Like, obviously, it's endgame, right? Endgame, you just have a bazillion beacons. You have a bazillion modules. You have a bazillion things, making things completely surrounded with beacons, having things like productivity bonus of 40% and crafting speed of 390%, right? Because you can get away with this kind of stuff. You know, you have 18,000 bots and only 4,000 of them are idle, right? These are the games that we play, yo. Right now, you guys are waiting on blue circuits. We definitely have not enough blue circuits. Right? And these guys are not even cooking. They're cooking a little bit. You guys are not even cooking. Now we're waiting on red circuits. Interesting that we would be waiting on red circuits. What was your... Oh, you're not. Did I never... Apparently I never actually put a throttle on you, which is fine. I don't think I need a throttle on you. But okay. Red circuits. Make all the red circuits. Like, this is... We're making a ton of freaking red circuits, right? These red circuits are all out, though, because we don't have over 1,000 in the system. But we just touched 1,000, right? The moment we touch 1,000, all of these guys wake up. Right, you notice that? And then we want to watch it go back up again, right? Is he just going to bounce off of 1,000? Don't... See him kind of... Oh. Right? Bouncing on 1,000, and now all of a sudden, all of our red circuit productions are green. Green for go. Right? And once a whole bunch more red circuit production goes green, then a whole bunch more blue circuit production can go green. What are we still waiting for? But, you know, like, we want 29 of them, and we're getting 5 or 6 of them delivered. Still not nearly enough, but it is what it is. I'm okay with the build out for all of this stuff. Let's see, what else did we do wrong that we want to talk about that we could have done better? Like, yeah, running out of uranium was pretty stupid. It's a good thing to keep track of when you're doing whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to ignore all of that combat because this is just a world tour in retrospective. Now, like, the trains, right? The trains we could have done so much better. Oh my god, so much better. Like, first and foremost, duh, because it's been so long since I played Factorio. What we should have done, right, is let this stuff be the output. Probably put the oil way down here where there's more than enough room for it. Plus, there's also the oil over here. Like, how much oil are you pumping at a time? It's not bad. So 10 per second? Meh. Whatever it is. Still, like, the right thing to have done here, really, was to have made this be an Omni station, right? You need to deal with oil. Oil can be could have been a completely separate thing, right? We could have done one more extra wide oil thing here. The problem is that they kind of sneak you into it, right? Like, you need stone. Oh, that's probably bad that we don't... Oh, no, we've drained all our stone, right? And we've drained all our... Yeah, meh. Is what it is. There's more than enough coal in the system for the things that we're using it. I'm not super concerned. Everything is in the way. It's in the way, man. I can't do what I want to do because it's in the way. Meh. Right on, whatever. Now we have 8,000 bots free because, you know, sometimes you get a backlog. We could have probably done a much larger galaxy brain. I mean, at this point, we're totally full on Galaxy Brain and everything's groovy and wonderful. I totally recognize Galaxy Brain is not the most efficient way to do your stuff, but it's pretty. I love staring at it. Like, ignore science, upvote Hypno Galaxy Brain. Exactly. Right, anyway. Yeah, I think, though, I get distracted very easily. I think, though, what we should have done is let all of this stuff be Omni stations, right? The game starts you off that you need to have stone. You need to get that train going for stone. You need to get that train going for coal. It does those things. It makes you have to deal with that, and you're not anywhere near set up to be able to do, like, an Omni station, right? Like, you need a ton of bots. In order to get bots, you know, you need to have that whole oil thing going for you. Oh, my goodness. So at the very least, we would have had to have built this guy, right? The very first one that we built. And that made sense. But I think realistically, the moment we had bots going, we probably should have transitioned straight into an Omni station, right? And now an Omni station is just a place where you just use purple chests and dump it into nearby storage, and then it can take anything, right? As long as you're always using bots for everything, Omni station can take anything. Usually the smart way to play the game. I wasn't really paying attention, didn't really think about it until everything got all crazy. Obviously, Omni station doesn't work as well for fluids, especially oil. Oil is generally what you are piping in. In a normal single-player, multiplayer, vanilla game of Factorio, usually the thing that you have to go transition into trains for is your oil, because your oil's nowhere near where you start, usually. But, you know, is what it is. Gets things done. Certainly the throughput here is more than amazing. Like, we already have, how many oil barrels do we have in storage right now? Right, 13,000 oil barrels in storage. Although it's interesting to see that there aren't any other oil barrels in storage. That's probably a good sign. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. Sure, okay, whatever. Now, adding these extra lines over here made things much better, right? Because things aren't blocked anymore due to the enormous backlog of these oil trains. But, yeah, I'd have probably just made the bottom one an oil stop and let everything else be an Omni stop, and that would have probably been more than good enough for what we were doing here. Probably more efficient than what I had. Meh. This is what it is. Bots in, bots out. Obviously, I'm not being, I mean, this is, you can tell where I transitioned from diamond stuff to rectangle stuff. Stoffel. You know, still tons of stuff kind of blinky on the map. Do we see the blinkies, right? Basically, these are all a whole bunch of modules that are wanted. You know, but hey, look. We have a copper drop. Let's just add some more copper processing. Grab your blueprint and off you go. Easy skeezy. Now, mind you, if we do go to the map and we look at the pollution, we get the sense that the pollution's pretty enormous, right? We wouldn't be able to see the pollution over here. The pollution is probably over here. And we have had plenty of bugs, like digging around through here. This is a whole bunch of places where bugs were killing things. You know. So this we could have done better as well. I was kind of lazy about it, like some of the other places where we actually did manage to wall them in, like here. This worked out fairly nicely. This was a good idea. Took a lot of walls, but it worked, right? I like that idea. That's probably a better idea than all of this nonsense. But interestingly enough, the bugs are not even awake, right? We've got a big old line of things to kill them, but if they're not awake and doing anything, that doesn't matter, right? Same with these guys. Barely any motion, barely any movement. They've decided they don't want to be breaking into our walls anymore, so that's kind of what you want them to be. Part of the problem probably is that this stuff's sucking up all of this stuff, right? And we've already had some deaths. A death or two in the family. Whatever, we don't care. We're going to be finished. We want to make things done already. I'm sure they wandered over to somebody else's thing and got themselves killed. That's what they do. I mean, here's our iron station. Fill up on iron, yo. Make it go. Give me 2K. Nope, didn't get 2K in the time that we had. Is what it is. But, you know, fairly quickly thereafter, there's a guy who is ready to fill your fill with fill. And the problem, of course, is how quickly they empty. For whatever reason. You know, probably going to be about the same when the timer runs out. Right, but that's the iron that we got. We got an oil drop here. Right, simple pump out system. If we click on this, we can see only 2 trains at the moment. Oh, everybody's standing in line. Interesting. I probably should have put better signals, but who cares? We're done now. Right, and like, you're already mostly full. Like, you only top off when they give you juice. So that's fine. Now, the other oil pump, and other oil pump, with way more crude oil, yo, is over here. He's doing the same thing. He's also not out of oil. Like, boom. Plug the pumps in. Well, interesting that you guys are not doing as well. I guess the speed is being reduced on some of them, right? And then there's a third oil down here, right? You're crazy talk, 9,000. Oh, you've degraded significantly. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Hello, train. Who are you and where are you going? Oh, that's not in eyesight. Alright, whatever. Now we got these crude oil down here. Now, like, this stuff mostly stays just completely full. Pumps in here, stays completely full. The trains coming through here get full very fast. But that's fine. We got too much anyway, right? What else did we do? We did find this copper drop. Copper and... oh, what am I trying to say here? Copy and coal, right? But we don't really care about that. We just have plenty of the copper coming. We can see when a train is coming. This guy's getting nearby. Right? No, you're going home. Never mind. Alright, well, this is copper, right? We got more than enough copper. How are we on copper? You're not in a logistic network, so you're not going to show me that logistic network. How are we on copper? 115,000 copper plate. 113,000 coal. 110,000 plastic. 98,000 empty steel barrels. Because that be how we roll, yo. Whatever. We don't care. Anything else interesting to talk about? I'm like, why am I getting all of this stuff? Because I'm making goofball chests. Oh, of course, the one thing we haven't looked... I mean, we did explore all over the map, right? Everywhere train tracks went, we went. We visited everywhere you could go on train tracks. I missed a lot of stuff that you might want to go. Oh, look at all the cars piled up on the beach, yo. I missed a bunch of stuff that you might go that didn't have train tracks, but I'm freaking lazy. Didn't want to deal with life. Excuse me. Without train tracks. I love these little vignettes. I love this whole map. Like, mad props to the author. Like, oh, Jesus. Like, how crazy is it to make a map this big, right? We haven't gotten an autosave yet, but holy crap. How big is this map? Autosave. That's how big the map is. Oh my god, autosave. Anyhow, all of this. Let's go down and look at the space base. Space punch. Let's go look at the space base. And we do see that we are still waiting on satellites. How terribly unfortunate for you, my dear. How are we doing on satellites anyway? Let's go check. Let's go put some eyeballs on the ground with the facts. Rolling in the mud. You know how it goes. I don't know why I'm doing this. Doesn't matter. I'm not actually going to keep playing the game anymore. So, like, making sure I have enough storage in Superbot land. Really? Oh. Seems like a waste of my time. Seems like. Waste of my time. How we doing on batteries? How you doing? You be cooking? Just make them fast as you freaking can, yo? Right, and you weren't actually waiting on that. You're just still waiting on blue, huh? Wow. Costs an entire 100 processing units just like that. Satellite's expensive, yo. Need all the blue circuits in the world. At the gin joints. What are we waiting on? Blue's waiting on red. Red is waiting on green. No, we keep bouncing off of 100 green. And by 100, I mean 1,000. Right? Boom. The moment it touches 1,000, all of the red guys should wake up. Or at least most of the red guys should wake up. Sure. Okay. Makes sense. Right. Quite right. Right? Like, what happened? What would happen if we were to just grab this nonsense, put it somewhere? Especially if we rotated it, right? Like, what would happen if we put it all there? Let's get over here. Oh, my bots didn't engage for anything. God damn it. Beacons, beacons, beacons. Everybody's on their way. I mean, yeah. This is why I don't want to build anything, right? It's boring, slow, causes trouble. We don't need nearly all of this damn stone. Like, I have to assume that these power poles are being brought in. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. How many construction bots do I have? I could probably do with more, but I'd rather have the batteries for things that need batteries. Hello. Hello. Right, from there, we'd want to do something like that. God damn it. Shut up. I don't care. I know you're destroying my stuff. Because... Oh, yeah, because like all of these guys now, they're taking pollution from up there, so they're going to start wandering north. Woohoo! Seems a little legit, Mo. What are we waiting on in here? How can we even tell? I have no modules in my pocket. That's interesting. But okay. Alright, at least for now, we're making mad. More red circuits, right? Now that we have more red circuits engaged, we can keep going in that direction if we want to, but now that we have more red circuits engaged, I still have no idea why I'm balanced, but this is the game, right? That's the whole game. You go and balance things, because you can. Where's my blues at? There's my blues at. Alright, still waiting on the reds, but you know, it is what it is. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, feel free to leave comments. We can have a nice discussion. I am going on a business trip next week. That's why I'm kind of ending this early. I think I have enough backlog up that, like, by the time you're watching this particular episode, I'm probably going to be back from my business trip. But that does give me a nice little gap. It does give me the ability to start up a new game. Someone did suggest in some comments that I should try playing Kenshi, which is yet another one of those old games that I didn't play when it first came out, and I kicked myself for because it seemed like such an amazing game. Anyway, yeah, I looked stuff up online. It looks like I should be able to play it in 4K. You just have to change some of the settings with a text editor, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. That's what we get for being on the bleeding edge, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed. So, after I'm back from the trip, sometime in late February, the 10 a.m. publishing slot on my channel shall be filled with Kenshi and no longer Factorio. Makes me really sad. This is the first time I've been, like, a little bit uncomfortable about ending a series. Like most series, when I finish the series and get to the end game or whatever happens to be, I'm like, oh my god, thank god I'm done. I want to go on to the next game. Kind of have a short attention span like that. However, one of my big pet peeves on YouTube is YouTubers who, like, start series and never finish them. Don't even get to the mid-game in their series. They're like, look at this cool game that I'm going to play 20 minutes of, and then they never play it again, right? So, I really do want to play, if not to the very, very bitter end, at least to exhaustion. I am a little bit exhausted at this point with Factorio. I love Factorio. I have a lot of a lot's probably a strong word. I think I have 3 other Factorio series in my playlist section, so go to my playlists and go find some of my other stuff. You find me and my brother playing Bobs and Angels forever and forever. I enjoyed that very much. It was kind of 2 series in one. It went more episodes than this. When it got done, I was fucking done. Oh my god. Mostly because of, like, the end game stuff in Bobs and Angels is crazy. But whatever. And whatever. I'm just babbling at this point. My name is Ming. And I would like to thank you so very much for watching to the end of this series. Do please feel free to click the like and the subscribe. They do help out a great deal. However, just for now, we'll be back with Kenshi, but just for now, we are 10-7. Over and out.